Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm the King, and welcome back to the channel. Guys, today we are going back, and we're not going regular back, we're going all the way back. We're going to be looking at Dead by Daylight clips from the beginning. We are going all the way to the start of Dead by Daylight and looking over some of the gameplay, some of the footage, and just seeing how the game was back then. I've made a video like this in the past, and apparently it's back trending now and everybody's doing this, so might as well make another video like that, looking over some of the things. In the last video, what we actually did was just go over 5 things that changed from Dead by Daylight then and now. We might make an updated one coming soon, but today I just want to look over some old gameplay and just watch it, which is going to definitely be cringy, but I want to see how the game looks. This speaks for itself. Take a look at that. My head is glitched, so ignore that, but look how long it takes to place a trap down. This is base trapper. That is absolutely terrible. And this was when the loop here was really strong. Bloodlust wasn't a thing back here. Look at the meat tree as well. You can see that the loops are completely different. The game just looks so bright as well. I think this is when we had the moonlight offerings. Oh man, this poor Meg just running into a dead zone. It's so odd because back in the days when we used to play the game here, it was more out of fear, so you would see like these pallets and you would just drop them and keep running, trying to escape from the killer. Nowadays, people are like, okay, I'm going to this loop, going to this tile, going to do this. It shows how much Dead by Daylight has changed. And I hope I showed it in this video, because there is one thing that a lot of people don't know. Oh, that hook time was so slow. You can actually place a trap underneath. Oh, I think I'm gonna do it. Oh, please do it. Oh my god, it takes so long to pick a trap up. And look at the timer on his health bar, how fast it's going down. Look, you can actually place traps under people's feet. And this was why I absolutely love the trapper, because you could just place it down and the person that comes to unhook him has to disarm the trap. Now imagine that with like bloody coil. Look, he's already almost in second life just because I'm just sticking around. That's how you had to play the game back then. You stuck around. It's why Insidious was in the game. So crazy. Okay, so I remember this part. Like, I remember actually doing this. Take a look at this. Someone did this to me. This was when, like, the meta was just starting to form of, like, infinite looping. 2 vaults on the meat tree. Every time the Wraith would come, I would just vault like this and go to the other side and vault. And there was literally nothing he could do because you would always get the fast vault just the way the game was set up. So he would walk to one side, I just go to the other, and he couldn't catch me. That's how abusive this was. It's crazy to think back on these days where the game was just so different. You can't even see him dinging his bell. That's crazy. And like, if you really knew how to utilize these things, you were like unstoppable. So this is when the Hag just came out, and this was like the 4th, 5th DLC, and I think it was Nurse Michael Huntress Hag, or Hag Huntress, I don't remember, to be honest. But you can see, like, look how thick the fog was. This was when Dead by Daylight started getting a little bit more popular, and more people were playing it. Legacy was already out of the way, as you can see that Claudette had it. There was a really nasty bug with Hag as well, when she just came out, in which you could just... when people would wiggle out, you can instantly swipe again and get them right back down. Like, as she's putting you down, she can swipe hit you. So there was no way of beating Hag at this point. But you can see how foggy it really is. This is why the Mercury regions aren't this strong anymore, because people would run Darkest Moonlight with Mercury region and just hide the entire game. It used to be so strong. You can also see me running Unrelenting. Oh my god, look how slow that is. You can also see me running Unrelenting here because the meta was Unrelenting, save the best for last. You would instantly hit and swipe again. It was so disgusting. Like, if survivors nowadays that complain, the ones that played on Reddit and do all of those things, played in this day and age now, oh boy, they wouldn't play Dead by Daylight ever again. This was like the OG stuff. So here is when the Doctor came out. Take a look at that in the top right. 2,859 subscribers. This is when the Doctor just came out. Man, these were the days. I was ranked when Killer and Survivor. I was like, yeah, I'm so good. This map was pretty balanced. Like, starting after here, the game started to get more in the way of being balanced. Like, there was still obviously some things that they would change in the future, but It was pretty good. This was when looping started to become more predominant and more of a factor that people needed to do. Clearly, as you can see, I wasn't good at the Doctor. This is probably why I hate the Doctor. I played the Doctor so bad when he just came out and never tried learning him that to this day I hate him. I still hate him. I hate playing as or against the Doctor, if anybody was curious, because I get asked that so many times. It's also nice to see the nostalgic perks on the right just all laid out like that. It's really funny. The one thing I do have to say though is that this map looks so much more darker, way darker. This was before we had all the big Unreal Engine updates. There was a point where we never had Unreal Engine and then they gave it to us and it was so good. You can also see me using Tinkerer. I mean, Tinkerer used to be a top tier perk back then, only on certain killers though, and rightfully so they changed the perk, which is, you know, great. Look how strong those flashlights were as well. Flashlights were, with Albub and Intense Halogen. They were so strong. You couldn't, like, do anything. They were actually insta-blinds at that point. So, you could literally just beam the flashlight and instantly blind the killer without having to doing it for a long, long time. It was really weird. That was an odd bug. Man, it looks so slow too. I don't know why, but I know the speed wasn't changed whatsoever. So I want to do one more throwback video. This was when I just met Polyester. This was about the third time ever talking to the guy. The first time we ever played, we made a video together and it was amazing. We had a little bit of mutual respect both for each other, saying that we loved each other's contents, which was amazing. He was the first YouTuber friend that I made. And he messages me one day and he's like, King, I got something you might want to record. Do you want to come on in? And I was like, free content? Sure, why not? Not expecting anything. So you'll hear my reaction to this right here. Let's just turn this up.
Oh my god! This is Freddy standing on top of the barrel! Oh my god!
That was crazy.
On the barrel! Can you get down?
I remember this to this day. This was amazing. So this was absolutely amazing. I absolutely loved this. This was so good. And imagine like meeting this guy for the third day ever and he does this with you. How can you not like him? This is super cool. And these are like now all of my good friends. Like Nilla's here. And it's so funny just to see where we all came from. And this is me just worrying the poor Nia and everyone's just like, ugh. Oh my god. That was so good, man. That was so good. Those were the days. But yeah, that's basically how Dead by Daylight was back in the days. What we might actually do is go over some of the bigger features in a separate video along the line and talk about how it's changed from then to now. This is kind of like the evolution of Dead by Daylight, where it started from, because we've seen literally the first ever gameplay that I had of it. Then we moved on to how it changed with the updates, and then the first time I ever met someone in Dead by Daylight that was a fellow content creator. It's come a long way, hasn't it? When you really put things into perspective, you're like, wow, okay, things have really changed. But that's gonna wrap it up for this video. I hope you guys did enjoy. Nonetheless, I'm the King. I tip my crown to you guys, and we'll see you in the fog. Take care.